It's not great if you still wait 10 seconds to say it.
I couldn't help it.
All right, let's do it one more time.
No, that was good. That was good.
Welcome to the Gear Slumber, your one-stop shop for all things guitar from nonsense. I'm Aaron.
I'm Boo.
Oh, cool.
With someone else, you don't have to.
I can't do the dongs that fast.
I changed him from dongs to buildings.
Yeah.
That's way easier.
So what's Artie Lang's deal? Like, was he?
Is he dead?
He's a comedian.
But he was like a pretty.
How is Artie Lang still alive?
Have you watched the show
Jason,
Crashing on HBO?
Yeah, and Jason. No,
Mantzoukas?
what's his name? He just died today.
Jason. Oh, you're thinking of Luke Perry.
Luke. Sorry,
Not
Not
Jason
Jason
Perry
Priestley.
died today?
Not Jason Priestley.
Luke Perry died today.
Yo.
Yeah, 52.
What's your favorite Luke Perry film or television show?
It's obviously The Fifth Element.
Okay. Weird.
Okay, I've
JK.
never. We
I
were
was going to
just
say
talking
Buffy
about.
the Vampire Slayer.
We were just talking about The Fifth
Crap, I want
Element
to change my answer.
like 2 days ago, and I've never seen The Fifth Element.
What is the Fifth Element? Like Neon?
No, that's a John Mayer song.
What?
I
Or
think I like.
Is Carbon the Fifth Element?
Oh. No, it's love, Aaron.
Wait, what?
It's love.
Is it really? Is that the thing from the movie?
Yes, it's so
I've never
dumb.
seen it.
Talking about love.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. In the movie, you're like, wait, the fifth element is love? And I learned later that the dude who wrote the movie, he wrote it when he was like 17 years old.
Wait, what are
So
the
it's
other
like-
elements?
No, the fifth element is boron. You moron.
Is it?
I'm
Yeah,
just
it is.
telling you, in the movie.
Carbon is number 6, though, so you were
Wait,
closer.
what?
the
Oh,
dude
yeah,
who
you're
wrote
right.
the movie.
The fifth element.
No, we've moved past that.
Are you
back
saying?
to
Are you
the
saying what to
periodic
me or
table.
Phil?
To you.
We're both trying to just. Aaron, it's the fifth element. Phil's like, Aaron, it's the movie. It's
Aaron.
love.
Yeah, I get it. He was
Aaron,
17.
Aaron, listen to me, Aaron.
He was 17, and I forgot the atomic weight of carbon. It's fine.
He was only
Everything's gonna be okay.
17, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, was there like a Ted Nugent song
High
about
on
him?
the edge of
No, there was a Beatles song.
17. Just
What's
like
the song?
a
Was it Skid Row that had that song about
sings
18?
out like
18 in
singing.
life?
18 and life spent time, man. 18 and life to go. Yeah, that is Skid Row.
Skid Row was cool. I heard that song
Dude,
one
freaking
time.
Skid Row.
Dude, that's the... Okay, I haven't been to like a fair in a long time. But as I recall, the best part about...
Weird flex. But
No, the best part about going on like fair rides is that they always play like hair metal.
Yeah,
Yes.
totally.
Because all
Yes.
the carnies are like...
Well, it's like...
So I like have this specific memory of being on this like the Sizzler or something, and it was like playing that Skid Row song.
Oh,
well, it's
I
like they
thought
made.
super
It's like they
loud.
that's an
made
even
these
better
rides.
story.
It's like they made these rides in the 80s, and they like added the music on some
It's
format.
like built
that
into
can't-
it.
Yeah, that like can't be
It's like
changed at all.
embedded
You know?
into the movie. I thought, Aaron, I thought you were gonna say you saw Skid Row at like a county fair.
No,
Oh,
that would have been
dude.
cool though.
Yes.
How weird is that Sebastian Bach had like a pretty prominent role in Gilmore Girls, but also
Wait,
like
what?
prominent in the sense that like he was on a bunch of different episodes and he was recurring, but he was also a very minor character. Like, you don't remember that?
I've never watched it.
Well, yeah.
What?
To
You've never
remember
watched
it,
Gilmore
we would
Girls?
have to have watched it. Yes.
No, I have not.
Yes, Cole. Surprise.
Oh, neither of you guys
You're
have
the
watched
only
Gilmore
one.
Girls?
Only 33.3% of this podcast has watched the Gilmore Girls.
Wait,
I
I,
love
thought
how
you
I'm
had
like-
both. I thought
I'm
you
like-
had both watched it.
I haven't seen
thought I
Fifth
was-
Element, but you guys are pathetic because you
Odd
haven't seen
man out.
Gilmore Girls.
I haven't seen Fifth Element either.
So one of like Rory is one of the main characters, and her friend is in a band.
That's
And
the
Sebastian-
guy from Macaulay Culkin's brother.
No, the girl. It's a girl that's her friend.
Oh, okay.
And then Sebastian Bach is also in the band. And then he just is like a character in this TV show.
Is he comedic in any way?
Yeah, like he's.
Is that the one where like Jared Leto
actually
was in the band?
He's actually an entertaining.
Oh no, that's My So-Called Life.
No, like none of the other
Aaron,
people
how dare
are musicians in any way. It's just Sebastian Bach happens to, like it makes you wonder how that came about. Because I'm sure I'm sure like most '80s bands didn't like they weren't super smart with their finances and everything. So maybe he needed money. But it's also weird that he's like this.
But you also have to like still have connections to get into that. Like
yeah, and it wasn't even like a cameo. Like he shows up in multiple episodes across probably multiple seasons. So
I feel like also maybe either he had a reality show or like his wife was on.
Yeah, no, he had a reality show.
Shows or something.
What was his called? He had a reality show.
Skid Row.
Wait, well there was Brett.
Bret Michaels.
Yeah,
he's from Poison.
Yes, Bret Michaels from Poison had.
But he had like the dating show.
Yes. Oh, gross.
But Sebastian Bach had like one where they just like followed his family around.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does he have like a normal family?
I mean,
because the Bret Michaels one was really gross.
Oh yeah, the show was called Supergroup.
Oh, that's not what I'm thinking of.
But I mean, it was. Well, yeah, this was like they lived in a house together. Yeah, it was like the Gene Simmons one.
The Surreal Life. That show was great.
Oh no, see what I'm thinking of is later on. Sebastian Bach wife TV. I'm Googling this because I'm pretty sure his wife was on like Real Housewives of New York or something. Something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I could see that.
I could be wrong.
Who's he married to?
I don't know.
Okay, let's be honest. Sebastian Bach cannot be his real name, right? What's his real name?
Let's see.
Well,
I'm
let's assume
his
not.
real name.
Sebastian Philip Bjerk, known professionally. So it's actually pretty close.
No,
Bjerk. Bierk. Bjerk is a Canadian. Oh, he's Canadian.
Maybe I'm wrong about this.
Bjerk.
You can be and are wrong.
Bjerk.
Oh,
dude, he's been in a ton of bands. And he has like a really good, he was on Broadway a little while, but like his voice wasn't really for Broadway, but he does have a really good voice, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Was he the one who was in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
Yeah, he was in Jekyll and Hyde.
Whatever.
Interesting.
I mean, okay.
You idiot.
I know. I said it, but I'm just saying.
You said it wrong, Phil.
No, I didn't. I said it. I said all the right words in the right
you did.
order.
It's true. I can't refute that.
Let me see.
So, did you guys ever watch the Gene Simmons show?
No.
You mean the one that was a ripoff of
the Ozzy Osbourne show? Yeah. But Gene Simmons was actually like pretty endearing, I thought. Some people say he's like a total jerk, and I believe that. But like he had, at the time they were making the show, he had at least one, maybe it was just a daughter and a son, but like his daughter was a teenager, and he seemed to have like a really good relationship with his daughter, and he was like pretty, I don't know. Yeah. Like, it was interesting that like of all people, I wouldn't have expected Gene Simmons to be like, to seem like a pretty well-adjusted parent or whatever.
I've seen him. He's been on like a Guy Fieri's show a couple times or something. He like appears on the Food Network from time to time.
Fieri.
I was listening to something recently. I can't remember what it was, but they referred to him as Guy Fieri, and that made me really happy.
He's like French now too.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's from Montreal. He's bilingual.
No, he's actually from North Carolina.
So
he's not Quebecois.
How well do you guys know Gene Simmons' wife?
I never met her.
Dude, I know her really well. What's her name?
Mrs. Simmons.
It isn't actually. I don't think
Shannon
she's like
Tweed?
an actress.
Is it Shannon Tweed?
Yes,
That's it.
Yes.
Shannon Tweed.
Yeah, and she actually seemed like they had a pretty, and they're still married. And,
yeah, how are they still married?
And they were like really like
divorced.
For lack of a better way of saying this, they seemed really cute together, which was surprising.
Aw, Cole.
I mean, you would
dude.
think he'd be crazy, but he's like not. Out of all the guys in Kiss, he's like the most normal one. He's not like taking.
And he's like very much like a
wearing
businessman.
Nazi uniforms or anything.
Yeah, like he's kind of a businessman first.
Really?
Yeah, there was like that. Well, didn't we talk about this on the show?
Yes,
we talked about the yes.
Yes, we did.
Well, we didn't talk about him not wearing Nazi uniforms. We talked about
one of the Shannon Tweed. Listen, she is Canadian too. Man, there were a lot of Canadians on the show. She's one of the most successful actresses of mainstream erotica, and she is identified with the genre of the erotic thriller.
Interesting.
What a strange
She is identified with the genre of.
There is no information in that sentence.
Because they don't want to give you. They don't want to give you titles to Google.
I know exactly.
I think,
with
okay,
links.
So I don't know if you guys.
Oh, she's from Newfoundland.
Oh, great.
What?
She's a
Labrador. Oh, wait.
Do you guys remember going to video stores and looking at boxes of
How old do you think we are?
VHSs?
Because of course we remember that.
Phil, we don't pretend that we're younger than we are. We pretend that you're older than you are. You got to get it right. So say that again, though. Looking at boxes of
VHS
videotapes.
Yeah, videos.
Yeah.
I remember, at the video store that I went to when I was a kid, there was the science fiction section, and then there was the horror section, and then there was the thriller section, and for some reason the thriller section had a lot of
risque covers.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And she was on the cover of half of them.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe there's something to
there you go.
Because years later, I was like, "Oh,
would you classify? Maybe that section was called erotic thriller, and maybe just the erotic part of the sign fell down or something."
Well,
I love to think of an '80s video store having just an entire section called erotic thriller, just this family video store.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Okay, so here's my memory. My memory is that Blockbuster Video was the first one to say, we do not have adult, quote unquote, adult videos. And we pride ourselves on not having it. And prior to that, video stores had a seedy reputation, specifically because there was they all had a back room or whatever. But Blockbuster Video was nope, we're not doing that. We're a chain, and we're going to not have any of those. But they did have Shannon Tweed movies, so.
Interesting.
Heck yeah, dude. I remember I lived in New Mexico till I was 10, and they had, Hastings was the place we would go to rent videos.
I've been to Hastings in Arizona.
Yes, when I lived in Arizona, I remember.
You lived in Arizona?
I did.
Gross.
Was that back in the 60s?
It was
in Phoenix?
Early 90s.
During the Eisenhower administration?
Did you live in Yuma?
Prescott.
Tucson?
Oh, you lived in Prescott?
Oh, Phoenix.
Yeah.
Have we talked about this before?
Do you have a grandparent who lived there or something?
Yeah, and they own tons of land there and stuff. They own a real estate company and own a bunch of land. Yeah, it is weird.
That's
at one point in time
north of Phoenix or something?
Yeah,
yes.
It's up
at one point in time, Prescott was the retirement
there,
capital of the country.
It was the what capital?
I don't know if it is right now, but it was the retirement capital of the country at one point in time when I was living there.
That's interesting because it's not particularly warm
or beautiful.
No, it is not.
It's similar to the climate,
but it is dry.
It's dry.
It's actually dry. It's a mile high.
They get snow every winter.
Yeah, dustings.
There's hundreds of birds.
They get snow that stays on the ground. Are you just reading the Wikipedia article?
No,
Phil, I've spent more time in Prescott than you. Wait, how long did you live there?
Prove it.
Like a week? We almost lost our dog in Prescott one time. So I would go to Hastings, and they had like the little room with the beaded, like, yeah, like the little beads you go through, and it's like, why are you making me touch something, like, to enter this room? Now I was like 9 years old, so I was just like,
here's what it is. The beads are not about touching something. The beads are about a thing that you have to walk through that makes a sound. So they go,
oh yeah, exactly.
Went in there.
But that's what I'm saying is like, of all the people that I want to be sharing germs with, it's not the people who are coming into this room. And you're making me like touch this thing with maybe even like my face and my body. Hopefully I just like move it aside with my hand. But yeah. And then I moved to Utah. And as you can imagine, there aren't many video stores here that have an adult video section in Utah.
Really?
You can get some pretty awesome beer though. It's like 2% alcohol. They actually just passed a law that they could sell. I sent you guys the article. I can't remember if they had a name for it, like hard beer.
No, what do they call it? It wasn't that. It was heavy beer.
Heavy, something like that. It was really good though. But it's basically like beer, like everywhere else. You know, I think maybe there's like variations across other states too. I don't know, but yeah, Utah's definitely kind of watered down.
So this episode is sponsored by
Pelican Noiseworks is a company that makes pedals. They make the Pelotar. We all know that. They make the Half Horse, which is kind of like half of the Pelotar, but not really. But it's a really good fuzz pedal. They make the 50/50, which I love. And I use
50
all the time. I think I've said this before, but that pedal, like on my main board, I have it before my switcher, so I can just manually switch it on and off. And I use it all the time, more than any other pedal probably.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Is it always on, pedal. Pretty much?
No, I have two, like I have it set up where one side is kind of high gain and one's low gain. And I'll turn on the low gain side and just forget it's on and leave it on for a few, for a while, just because it sounds good. The high gain one, I can tell when it's on.
Do you ever play without overdrive?
Yeah. Oh. Because I even have a few songs lately where I've been playing acoustic. Partially because like there's already acoustic? Like no, I just unplug my electric guitar and just hold a mic up to it. Because there's already another guitarist in my band, and he's better than me for one thing.
Yeah, obviously.
But like acoustic guitar, you don't realize how many rock songs have acoustic guitar in them until you do realize it, and then you realize it.
More than words.
It feels a good. It feels like a good hole in a lot of like alternative type songs. So yeah, so I've been playing acoustic more, but yeah, I end up playing a decent amount just completely clean or with some kind of like modulation.
That's not a rock song, so you can go ahead and stop singing it.
It's an acoustic song by rockers.
True.
But it's not a rock song.
'Cause I already know.
What would you say?
I feel like you would really enjoy the version of that song by Jack Black and Jimmy Fallon.
Of course. I've watched it multiple times. My favorite version of that song is on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, though.
Well, my favorite version of everything is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I actually quoted It's Always Sunny in a meeting today at my office at the church, which but I love that part when they're arguing about evolution and Mac is going through the whole list of all these science people who ended up being idiots, and they just find out after the fact, and it's pretty good.
I went to a coffee shop called Augie's and bought some coffee called Always Sunny Blend. I don't know if it's a reference, but I claim it as one.
So check out the 50/50. I think they have another run that still has some left. I'm not positive. The 50/50 is two DOD 250s in one box.
Don't spoil it.
Dude, how much better would that pedal have been if that podcast was from the UK?
I don't know.
Because then they would have been 50 cycle hum.
Oh, that's true.
And it would have been the 50-50.
That's true. Or how much better would it have been if anyone outside of like San Diego called orange creamsicles 50-50s? Because apparently that's what some people call them.
I call them that too. It's not just those weirdos.
You call them that?
I mean, it's yes.
I had literally never heard that before. And Utah, like if you ever take any of those dialect quizzes, Utah is almost identical with California.
I call it an ice dream.
Are you talking about something different?
No. I'm not. Oh, here you go. 50-50 bar from Urban Dictionary.
Okay.
A term used to describe a turd poop. Turd poop? Turd poop. It comes out half diarrhea and half formed.
Whatever.
Turd poop. That's the best part. I feel like we've literally read that on the show before.
Yeah, that's
so stupid.
It's probably.
Turd poop sounds so familiar to me. A turd poop. It's like it's using the turd as a noun and poop as a verb.
No, but it's like I think of it as like turd is like, an adjective.
Yeah, it's like a modifier to poop. It's one of those turd poops.
That's so stupid. Oh, that's good.
So,
all right, I'm ready to start.
Check out Pelican Noiseworks. They're going to appreciate that spot, by the way.
I'm in the zone.
So when you think of the 50-50, think of a turd poop that's half diarrhea and half formed.
Guys, I have this Panther Cup, and it still doesn't work.
Yeah, what's up with that?
So I sent it in.
Story.
So I bought it.
You bought it?
Someone posted it on
Benjamins.
Well, one Benjamin.
With your hard-earned Benjamin.
It was exactly a Benjamin. Someone.
Cool.
Sean Wright posted it, sent me the link to it, so I bought it from some dude in Michigan. And anyway, it came and it worked. And then I let my friend borrow it, and when I got it back, it didn't work anymore, and it rattled.
Doesn't sound like much of a friend.
And he said he never even plugged it in. But apparently it has there's a thing in there that happens, so this bolt comes loose occasionally. Like it's a thing. Like it's a known issue. It's a common issue with these pedals.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
That sounds like a bad issue.
So I sent it in to get that fixed because they said not to do it yourself because
for
basically
obvious reasons, right?
Well, no, because the two circuit boards are separated by some kind of spring mechanism, and if you open it, it could pop out, and then you can't get it back together. And then they could touch and short or whatever. So anyway, so I did it. So I sent it in to get it fixed, and when I got it back, it started doing the weirdest thing. I guess it's not that weird, but the light stays on always, so you can't tell if it's engaged or not.
And you've confirmed that you're not plugging it in backwards.
I have.
Phil does sometimes.
I have confirmed, and I even tried it with multiple power sources, a One Spot and a Voodoo Labs, 5, whatever that one is.
Yeah.
Pedal Power ISO 5 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it didn't work. So I'm waiting for them to send me a shipping label so I can send it back. So I've owned this pedal for a month, and it was usable for 2 days.
It whatever, stuff happens, but it seems crazy to me that if a pedal, you'd think if a pedal came back for repair, you probably, I'm sure they have some QA process for every pedal that goes out the door, and it's not super rigorous, but it catches the vast majority of issues. But you'd think if one came back for repair, you would run it through the ringer and make absolutely sure that nothing was wrong with it.
Yeah, I just don't know if something...
And it was broken from the first second you got it back, right?
Yeah, immediately.
Right after he drop kicked it.
I had it sitting around for a day or two before I plugged it in, so maybe that...
You kicked it a couple times. You reenacted that scene, that opening scene from Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
No, you reenacted that scene from Nam. Do you remember that?
No.
Aaron? That scene?
Yes, I do. I sold that pedal. I sold that pedal.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, for I sold it as brand new. Not
Good.
really. I sold it as mint.
Good.
Oh, that's what I got to tell you guys about. So I got these 2 pedals and I sold them. And
the Fox pedals.
I had the reverb and the rat one. The rat.
Oh yes.
So I sent when I sent the JHS pedal, I sent it in the Wrath box because I was like, it's gonna get back before I sell them, but it didn't. So when I sent the Wrath pedal, I sent it in the reverb box because this is what I do apparently.
Well, this seems like you're just digging yourself.
So then when I sold the reverb,
no. But did you say in the ad with original box?
I did not, and there's no picture of the box, so I didn't feel bad about it. But I sent the reverb without a box. But in like a little pouch that it came in,
like just in a trash bag,
just in the pouch with a sticker on it. So anyway.
Put the shipping label on the little pouch.
Yeah.
Just tied the little strings at the top.
Yeah, no big deal.
That had a snap. So anyway, what am I saying? What happened? So, because there's 2 stories that happened at once. So I sent that one out. Like the day after I sent it out without the box, the guy that bought the Wrath from me messaged me, and he's like, he gave me 5 stars on Reverb, and he's like, hey, just so you know, like, you sent me this pedal in the wrong box, so like if you're looking for that box, I have it. Like, just so
which is like a cool.
Yeah.
Like he probably would have sent it back to you if you really wanted it or something.
Right. So I was like, well, I mean, I have the other one now. I can trade you if you want, or like I can send it to you, whatever. And he's like, no, it's cool. Don't worry about it. But so I was like, I'm like, oh, I hope the other dude doesn't give me a bad review because I sent it without the box. Right. That's like,
because that would be the ultimate irony.
Right. But he did give me a bad review, but not because of that. So this dude gave me 3 stars out of 5 because, okay, I'm going to back up. I'm going to give you the timeline.
First, let's say there's a couple things I want to say. Okay. One is first and foremost, that person is a monster for giving you a 3-star review, period.
With no, monster. Nothing, like, hey, just so you know, I wasn't super pleased with this, and I'm going to give you a 3-star at least.
Well, no. He's going to read the review.
Well, let's talk about it.
Because he did leave a review. But second, I would like to point out how the horrible, most wretched part of me is very pleased with the situation.
Because now you're not the only one?
Because you gave me so much crap about having people give me reviews.
With
like
no heads
people,
up, no information.
Yes,
just like
crazy people giving me bad reviews.
No, the best part was you got a review that was like probably 4 stars, but they didn't mention anything even mildly negative. Anything. It was just I love the pedal, feels great. I totally want to get a beer with him if he's ever in town. 4 stars.
4
like
stars.
What?
But Aaron was gloating.
Well, you're so dumb because I've got perfect rating. I did. But, okay, so let me tell you the story, and then I have a new update that I just realized. So
okay, this is really funny. Oh,
my gosh. Okay.
Are you watching this?
I'm not watching anything.
Watching what?
So Eric Veronic got his Flippin' Flippers pedal the other day.
The stack.
Oh.
Yeah, the stack, and he did an unboxing video, and he was wearing a Trump shirt, like a it said like it was like a baseball shirt, but it said "Reelect 45." So it's like kind of a, I don't know, like it's at least clever or whatever. Maybe it's not clever, but you know what I'm saying. Like it's not offensive by any means. And a few people commented like, "Oh, I hate your shirt" and stuff. So I just saw this notification pop up, and it has a little thumbnail of the video, and it's him in the exact same position he did the first video, but just without a shirt at all.
Where is this?
And he's like kind of a chubby dude. Like it's really funny in the Flippin' Flippers group. It's really funny, and he's got like his hat on and everything, just doing the same unboxing video.
That is the perfect response.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
If somebody says, "I find your shirt offensive," the perfect response is to freaking remove your shirt.
So I don't know. I think he listens to this podcast. So shout out to
you, sir.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Even though I
that's really
don't
funny.
agree with your politics, I
commend
you.
How would you be? Why would you be offended by that? He's not like wearing it to your house or like to your wedding or something.
Yeah, like he just happens to be wearing it. Like,
or to my quinceañera.
It's so weird.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with you at all. That is funny.
But I'm looking at it, Aaron.
Okay, so
I wish I would have got one of those pedals because I really like that boost that they have in it.
Yeah. Are they gone now?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I'm going to give you the timeline. So this dude had it listed. This guy makes me an offer on it. I had it listed for 100 or like 85, whatever. He gave me an offer of like 70 plus shipping. And I was like, "Oh, could you do 75 plus shipping?" Because I didn't want to do 70.
Ooh, that's it.
And he said, "No," and he said, "Oh, no, I can't." That was it. Like a couple days later, like a few days later, like maybe a handful of days later, like a week later. Let's say about a week later. I was like, I want to get rid of this. I don't want it around anymore.
Commit, Aaron.
I'm tired of having this thing here. I'm not using it. So I messaged him, and I said, hey, if you still want the pedal, you can have it for this amount. He's like, okay, how about like $5 cheaper? And I was like, fine, whatever.
Wait, this amount, the amount that he had originally said?
Yes,
or you
the amount that he originally said. So let's say...
And then he lowballed you again?
So, yeah, but I didn't care. So I was like, fine.
Aaron.
Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, sure. That's fine. So I ended up selling it for like 75 or whatever. And I was like, I'll ship it out as soon as I can.
This guy's getting like super deal?
Yes. So...
Oh, my God.
So then
this guy.
The next day, like, I can't ship it out because it's like the day after, and I just didn't do it. I shipped it
And
out
you
the
don't like to
following
ship-
day.
You
So
don't like to ship on time.
he bought it on. He gave me money on a Wednesday. I sent it out on a Friday. It got to him on Monday, so he had it 5 days after he paid for it,
Including a weekend, which is like
Including a
yes,
weekend.
including a weekend.
which I think the policy.
I really want to give you crap for this, but
like you have 72 hours to even ship it.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's the thing.
It is.
It is like
they
like
say no. They say that, but that's excluding if you tell them. Like even with that guideline, like you can say, "Hey, I'm running behind."
Well, yeah,
that's like with zero contact.
right?
Yeah. The 72.
So I shipped it out in less than 48 hours, and he got it within 5 days.
Over a weekend.
So
3 business days.
So yes, so his review says pedal worked great, came as described. Shipping was a little later than expected. 3 stars.
What a lunatic!
But I just found out.
Definitely would not date.
I hadn't looked on it on desktop yet, but I'm looking at my feedback, and there's a thing here. It says you got a low feedback rating. One to tell your side of the story. Response to feedback. You can respond to feedback.
Perfect.
So I may do that. Try to get that fixed.
So you should show it. Like you should have the
You need
dates
to
on
do
there
it
and
right
show
now.
the tracking number and stuff.
on the podcast.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do.
Nah, it's cool.
People will love listening to that. To you writing an email.
Anyway, so don't.
Yeah.
leave
Oh,
people
so by the
3-star
way,
reviews for
Take
no
the
reason.
microphone, put it
Well-
down next to the keyboard so we can hear you clicking.
While that was happening, I took a trip to Southern California to Anaheim.
Mhm.
Are you familiar with that place?
it's
I have heard of it.
Pretty racist place.
It is.
No, there's like a pretty large like neo-Nazi presence there.
Is there?
Yeah.
No, you're talking about Ventura.
Also Anaheim, like Huntington Beach, all those places.
Where the American History X?
Is that where American History X was filmed?
Where's it supposed to be? It's not
That documentary?
It's north from Anaheim. It's but it's beach. It's
probably Huntington Beach.
It's not Malibu.
It's not Huntington Beach.
I don't think so.
Oh.
So, I had one of my pedals. What was it? Doesn't matter. Oh, the Rainbow Machine. Shout out to Luke Mundy. Sorry I sold the Rainbow Machine, but I kept that pedal for over a year, which is more than I keep most pedals, and I did like it a lot. So I sold the Rainbow Machine. I went down there on a Wednesday. Of course, a guy buys it on a Wednesday, and I wasn't going to be back home until Saturday. So I messaged him and said, "Hey,
Venice Beach." Venice.
Was that worth it, Phil?
Sorry. Sorry.
So on a Wednesday, guy pays immediately, buys it for the full price, no haggling or anything. I message him and out. Guy?
You said guy, but you meant Guy.
Yeah, the guy. The Guy Fieri. Fieri. Oh, I Guy Fieri is from Venice. Not Venice Beach, but like from Venice.
Venice, Italy.
Venezia.
Venezia.
It's Venezia.
I know. I'm saying it.
And it's Jekyll and Hyde. It's not Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Idiots.
Wait.
Uncultured swine.
The book is Dr. Jekyll.
The original
and Mr.
book
Hyde.
is called Dr. Jekyll and
was
Mr.
Sebastian
Hyde.
Bach in the book, Phil? And he's like, yeah, no problem. And I was like, yeah, I get back on Saturday. So I'll try to send it out as soon as I get home on Saturday. So, so it's on its way over Sunday and everything. He messages me like Saturday night. Of course, I wasn't going to send it on Saturday. And he's like, hey, did you, what's the status on the pedal? And I was like, oh, crap. Sorry. I got home too late and didn't send it. So I'll send it first thing on Monday. And he replied, oh, thanks, man. Thanks for getting back to me so quickly. And then I shipped it on Monday, and it probably arrived like a week or more after he paid for it. And he gave me 5 stars already. So.
And he was the same person that Aaron bought from.
How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel in your heart of hearts?
Terrible.
It does, doesn't it? Good. Did you have something you wanted to say, Phil?
Yes. Venice
Beach. Dude, I've had this image search for Artie Lang open this whole time. His nose is so jacked up. What is wrong with his nose?
Cocaine, I think.
But like,
is it cocaine or getting punched or both?
Yes.
I'll send you a picture of it. It is insane. So
in
speaking
the membrane. And by membrane we mean the inner nostrils.
Speaking of cocaine, our other sponsor is...
Oh, wait. I have something I have to say. It was ordered on Wednesday. I didn't ship it out till Saturday.
Oh.
But it still got there on Monday. It still got there on Monday.
I paid you for something.
That's a very different story.
Aaron, remember that
it's
time
really
I paid
not.
you for something?
Remember that time I paid you, and you didn't even get paid to ship it slowly this time.
I still did send it within 72 hours.
Aaron, remember that time I paid you to ship me something, and it took you 2.5 weeks?
Yes. But that's because I was being paid to do that.
No.
Yeah.
I did end up paying you, too, even though I wasn't, like, I was totally joking about that, but it was like, I didn't actually expect you to wait that long, and then it felt like, I guess I have to pay you now. Oh, and I paid Phil, too, for that one time you found that thing that I mentioned. Remember that, Phil?
No.
In our chat group? We were talking
different.
all day, and I was like, hey, Phil, if you find this, I'll send you $20 or whatever, and then you found it.
Yeah, I remember.
It's very similar. It's basically the same thing. So, Sinusoid. Check them out. They make cables. All kinds of cables.
Yeah.
And
okay, so here's what I said. Pedal was delivered 3 business days after being purchased. Deducting 2 stars for that seems a bit extreme. Please give me 5 stars. Give me.
You said that in your comment.
I didn't say please give me 5 stars, but I'm about to.
Please give me 5 stars.
Give me all the stars.
You sack of human garbage.
Thank you. Enjoy your rabbit. Leave response. Done.
I think you should call him more names, though.
No, because now I'm trying to get something out of him. Also, I realized after the fact that this dude has 3 feedbacks. So
I knew it.
My 3-star review
was
dude, way worse than his 3-star review.
Good. Maybe he'll think twice next time.
Whoops.
Yeah, I knew it. This guy is well, you said the reason, because you didn't mention this. I don't think you've mentioned this yet, that he was badgering you.
Oh, yeah.
About sending it.
He
messaged you 5 times.
A
right?
lot, yeah. Many
now
times.
That I know he paid on Wednesday and you didn't ship it till Saturday, it kind of makes more sense, though.
Did you say anything to him between Wednesday and Saturday?
I did. I was in contact with him, and I said I'm going to get it sent out.
I think you need to read us the back and forth.
I don't know if I can do that. Let me see. I'm saying I don't know if I can. I don't know how.
You're going to incriminate yourself.
Platons.
Oh, you're saying it's illegal?
Yeah.
Like it's like you're recording him without his consent?
No, that's
okay.
No,
Here we go.
Thing.
You can't just say "here we go" and then go silent.
I think that's.
I'm looking at it.
Aaron is redacting.
Okay, he says thank you. Can you send me a tracking number when you ship it?
Give us the time.
Okay, he messaged me like twice a day for like 2 days. And then I said, yes, it went out this morning. I'll get you tracking as soon as possible.
No,
Did
Aaron,
it actually go out that morning?
Yes.
Aaron,
yes.
tell us when.
I want to know when these messages were.
You,
I can't do that.
You first.
I'm not.
Yes, you can.
No.
Okay, you won't, or you can't.
I won't.
Oh my gosh, Aaron, you lied to us.
Okay, no.
So you played us like a fiddle.
Okay,
good.
Okay, February 19th at 5 p.m. He said, yes. Can you send me a tracking number when you ship it? Then
what did he say yes to?
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. To my offer.
February 19th at 5 p.m.
That's a Tuesday.
That's a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
That's Tuesday?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then it's shipped out on Friday.
Okay.
Okay, so keep going.
Continue.
So on Wednesday, he
The
says,
20th?
have you shipped
The
the pedal
20th.
yet? And then he also says, so at 4:40 p.m., have you shipped the pedal yet?
So
Okay.
at 23 hours later.
At 2:56 a.m., have you sent the pedal yet?
This is on the 21st.
What is this guy? How is he living his life?
And then I said,
First of all,
hey, sorry, yes, it went out this morning. I'll get tracking here as soon as possible.
wait.
Which was Friday, which was Thursday, which I thought it had because I made it and I meant to ship it out that day, but I didn't actually.
Aaron.
So I sent it out
You
Friday.
Jimmy Junior'd him. You freaking Jimmy Junior'd him.
I didn't. I sent it out Friday morning.
You are the villain. You're
Friday
Kaiser Sose.
I sent it out Friday morning, and it got there on Monday.
No,
That is not 3 business
That-
days. He paid on Tuesday, and he got it on Monday.
That's one extra business. It's 4 business days.
No. Listen,
That's 6 days.
I'm not even.
Still,
You
2 stars. Come on.
Monster. No, I don't care about it being. I care about you lying to us this whole time.
I wasn't lying. I was incorrect in my assessment.
That's
really.
That doesn't mean you weren't lying. It's just the reason you were lying is because
No, I wasn't lying. It's not lying.
What were
if
you
you're
gonna
not
say,
doing
Phil?
it if it's unintentional.
Well, okay.
You
so
can't
here's the
accidentally
thing.
lie.
Listen. This would be fine
Mm-hmm.
if you were giving him constant feedback.
No, it's so
the fact
fine.
that he
I message
is
him once a
badgering
day.
You,
Once
No.
a day is plenty.
okay,
But
you
yeah,
message-
one of those messages was a lie.
It wasn't a lie.
How can you not know if you shipped the freaking pedal?
I'm telling you.
Were you like on drugs or something?
Sometimes things happen.
That's what
Is that what
people
you
say when they're being indicted for like major crimes. And they don't want to perjure themselves, but they have to find a way to lie.
I had the shipping
Sometimes
label and I
things
thought it went
happen.
out, but it didn't. That's what happened.
What do you mean you thought it went out? You thought it went out of your house, but it was
Yes.
still just sitting there?
Yes.
I don't know how a person can think that.
You would have to know in order to know.
what?
Man, you would not hold up well on a witness stand, Aaron.
I'm not on a witness stand.
I know, but you're acting like it.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah,
You guys
we
are
just
acting
proved-
like a bunch
we
of liberals
just
right
proven
now.
you guilty.
You're acting like super liberal. No, in a court of law. Evidence is not proof.
Aaron, master
Yeah,
shipper.
That's beyond a
Abubo.
shadow of a doubt.
Evidence is not proof.
This just in. No one purchase anything from.
Get your life together, Aaron.
Dude, I'm a fast shipper. I even have a fast shipper thing on my
That
phone.
is That is hot garbage if you have that.
Yeah, it's because you lie. You print off the label and put in the tracking info, but then you don't even take it till the next day.
That is not true.
And this is the first guy to call you on it.
You deserve less than 3 stars, Aaron.
I'm going to get 5.
You think he's gonna change?
If you put 3 business days on that, I'm gonna call Reverb and say, hey, can you look up this guy I know had a deal cut? They'll be like, who are you?
I'd like to be a witness.
I demand satisfaction, sir.
You don't count the first and the last day is the thing.
What are you talking about? Have you seen that video about the guys in that weightlifting thread?
No.
Where they're trying to say if you're on a 5, what is it? Basically, it's this video that's about the dumbest argument ever made, and it's these guys arguing about basically how many days there are in a week, because one of them is like, if you have like a 4-day workout, you can do 4. Basically, he was counting Sunday twice, you know? So he's basically trying to do the same mental gymnastics that you're trying to do.
I don't think that's true.
He paid on a Tuesday and he got it on a Monday. That's 4 business days.
That's pretty good still.
See, now you're changing the story.
It has everything to do with your communication.
I'm not saying whether it's good or not. I'm saying it isn't the 3 business days.
I'm saying that was an honest mistake. I thought it was.
I love this. Feels like the type of crap that we call you on, Phil. Sometimes.
I was going to say that.
And so I'm glad it just feels so similar to that.
Yes. Thank you.
I thought it was 3.
Yeah, but the days, you know. It's like, you know how it happens 3. When there's days and stuff.
You know the days.
The days, guys. Come on. You know how it is with the days. Well, Aaron, you are a monster.
Look at this, 5 stars.
And he complained.
This other dude was so happy that he sent me a message after the fact to tell me how great I did.
We remember.
That doesn't. Aaron.
Here's another one.
That's
5
like
stars.
That's
awesome
like
seller. Great transactions.
That's like Louis C.K.
Great seller, super fast. What a great deal on a great pedal.
That's like Louis C.K. saying, "Hey, there are plenty of girls that I didn't
look at
make.
All these women
arrived quickly.
Watch me do
solid
these
transaction.
Look at all these women.
Great communication, fast shipper.
Don't say I'm a horrible monster.
Yeah, it's like, there's plenty of women that I haven't beat up in my life.
Super fast shipping, great seller, 5 stars.
I love this so
it's
much.
An anomaly. Great seller, quick shipping, good communication, would do business again.
That doesn't...
Andrew, I'm sorry.
Doesn't disprove
it's an anomaly. Hey,
Aaron,
I'm not.
Aaron says to every shipper.
What are you sorry for? The slow shipping or for dragging his name through the mud?
I never said his name.
In fact,
I'm bringing in the character witness is what I'm doing right now.
Aaron says to every
witness,
every person he ships to, hey, listen, I'm kind of a big deal. Do you mind if I ship this to you later than I said I was going to? And they're like, they feel bad and awkward, and they're like, no, that's fine. And he's like, yeah, okay, good.
That counts as consent.
Here I go, shipping it to you late.
Yeah, dude.
Like you asked for. But they didn't, Aaron. They didn't ask for it late.
I don't even know what
you're
talking
them.
about.
I kind of lost the thread, too. I'm going to be honest. But
guys, T-Rex is extinct.
I think we're accusing you of being a sexual deviant. Some kind of...
I mean, that's your guys' area of expertise.
I'm
now he's just resorting to elementary school.
I'm surprised Phil's not singing Bryan Adams.
I know you
right
are,
now.
but what am I? So check out Sinusoid, guys.
Shipping deviance.
You know,
there's a good
true.
chance Sinusoid will ship quicker than Aaron did.
Everything I do.
He's so angry right
do
now.
it for you.
I think the only time he's been more angry live on the podcast has been when you walked into Carl's Jr. and got ice in your cup.
No.
He's angry? He is angry.
I'm not.
I hope you're angry at yourself, Aaron.
I am. I am ashamed. I feel sad. I deserve 4 stars for that transaction.
No, you do not. You deserved 4 stars maybe for the transaction, but now you deserve 0 stars because of your reaction. Because of how you used our emotions.
You're not a part of it. You're an outside observer.
Yeah, so okay, you can get 4 stars for that friendship, for that transaction, but you get 0 stars for our friendship, Aaron.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Aaron, listen.
Because you misled us.
I don't judge our friendship on just this day. I judge our friendship on the last, what has it been, 3 years? 4 years?
A million.
I don't really trust your ability to judge time back that far.
Okay, but be that as it may, I give our friendship 5 stars.
Thank you.
So you're like the battered wife who's like, he's so nice to me most of the time.
I give
out of control.
I give our friendship.
He does the dishes.
5 stars per se.
So did you guys see that T-Rex is going out of business?
I just said that.
I know. Let's talk about it. Do you guys have any feelings about T-Rex?
Did you guys know
here's
that
my only experience really with T-Rex is that I owned a whirly verb for a minute.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And
that.
I sold it pretty quickly.
A weird pedal.
It was because what was it like? I'll say so. That was actually like the second pedal that I ever owned. I was like, I need an overdrive and a reverb, and a delay. So I borrowed a DD3
because that's what you want.
Listen, I borrowed a DD3. I bought a Boss Dynadrive, and I bought a T-Rex whirly verb. Those are my 3 pedals.
Typical P-dub board.
Classic. I feel like I might like the whirly verb now. I ended up trading it for a EHX Holy Grail Nano, which I also didn't like. That was when I realized I don't really like reverb.
So, like, T-Rex, in my mind, they make power supplies that are pretty popular, and they've been around for a long time, but they have kind of a weird product offering. They have this, like, multi-effects acoustic board that has, like, a bunch of looping in it.
Oh, weird.
And delay and compression and all that stuff, which is weird. And then they have the Replicator, which I think is probably their most well-known pedal.
That's pretty new, though.
Yeah, and like they put a ton of but like they were pretty, like they were advertising it as it was,
right,
like, in development and stuff.
Yes.
And I know they had a ton of like R&D effort behind it, but it's like it's an actual tape echo with an actual tape in it.
Yes.
But it's like over $500.
It's like $700 or $800, I think, and then they had they had a junior version of it too.
Yeah, which right now on Thomann they're actually cheaper. This one's only €440 on Thomann
for the full size one.
Yeah, for the full size.
Interesting. I wonder if they have
the junior. It's because they know the junior's £298.
Ooh,
but like at $500, I don't know. First of all, like. Is that I get that that's a desirable effect, but like, it's like if someone were to come out with a Leslie speaker that was like an actual rotating speaker that you mount on your pedal board or something, and it's like, well,
it's like, do you really want a tape, or would you rather just have an electronic digital version of that sound?
Yeah, like a really good, like an El Capistan, or I'm sure there's other tape echoes that people love, and it's like, it's got to be, you got to really want that. Because I bet you could, and I don't know, I'm sure it has a bunch of stuff in there that you can't replicate with most other pedals, but still, like, that they took a shot and it didn't work out. It said they were basically, let's see what it said. They were $500,000 in the red for last year in annual,
that's not good.
Yeah, dude, for a company, like, it's a pretty small, it said they had 9 employees, so... $500,000 in the red, and you only have 9 employees. That is scary.
I feel like they must have spent a ton on development for that thing, and it just didn't take off like they thought it would.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Like, it would have had to take off like crazy. And honestly, I don't think there's that much. I don't know. Maybe like people say this, and it's probably dumb and just pessimistic, but it seems like the market's pretty saturated in all aspects right now. Just the pedal market in general.
That's just such a high-end thing that, like,
but
it's
even
not practical for like your average music, even like your average hobbyist.
But like, I bet the Strymon Volante isn't selling nearly as well as any of their other pedals.
But how much does it cost? It's not that much more, is it?
But that's what I'm saying is, like, even other pedals that aren't crazy expensive aren't selling well because I think the market is kind of saturated a little bit. So yeah, then you add on the fact that this thing is like the most expensive pedal on the market as far as new pedals
go. I mean, it's barely a pedal. I mean, it is a pedal, but it's not like a pedal.
Yeah,
pedal.
like it like comes with its own carrying case. Like you're probably not going to mount this thing on your board and be banging it around and stuff. You know,
right? It's crazy.
It's like a studio. It's this piece of studio equipment essentially.
Well, they have a rack mounted unit too. Of it.
It's pretty wild. So I don't know. It's like a bummer, obviously, when a company goes under because they have employees and everything. But it seems like.
But I think they had new management recently too. Like they had made some transitional stuff where
maybe so.
I think one of the builders, one of the guys who was like in designer or something, kind of took over the company or something. I don't remember, but
because it doesn't seem like. I mean, it says they declared like they couldn't get any more. Without any support from investors and the bank, they were declared bankrupt. So they had to go out on the street and yell.
Just yell it.
Which is like, I mean, it's one thing when a company is acquired, but like just to straight up go broke sucks. Yeah. And it means they were probably trying really hard. Because sometimes it seems like after the fact, when there's like an acquisition, it's like, oh, the higher ups knew what was happening, and then just the employees get screwed. But probably nobody came out looking great in this one.
Yeah, I mean, they're so small that they don't really have higher ups.
Yeah, it's not like they have some board of directors or something. Yeah. But
9 people.
But yeah,
they don't.
It's kind of wild.
It's crazy. They've been around for a long time though.
Yeah,
they have a Mudhoney pedal.
It was like them, and they have this whole Danish series, the Danish collection, a bunch of hand wired like pedals that are hand wired in Denmark.
The Danish Mudhoney.
Yeah, and there's 3 or 4 of them. There's the Danish Mudhoney.
There's the
Danish Tremster.
Danish Alberta.
So
that's it.
It's such a weird. And then they have their power supplies. That's what I always knew them for. Like, it seemed like for a long time it was basically Voodoo Labs and T-Rex.
Yeah, they have the fuel tank
stuff. So
weird.
Whatever. It's lame, but I'm sure they'll figure something out. I mean,
is TC from Denmark too?
Hopefully, like some of that R&D, I would hope. Like, it seems crazy. Like this pedal is pretty wild. Like it's a freaking actual tape echo with a tap tempo for one thing. Which maybe if it was explained to me, it would make sense. But that seems like it would be hard to actually put into practice. But
no, I wouldn't think so. I mean, maybe, but all you'd have to do is have it control like the speed that the tape moves at. Like the
like I guess you could just like figure it out with trial and error. But still, I mean, like it's a really unique pedal, and it's a bummer that like basically now it's just not going to exist, and especially like it's the type of thing where even as they go on clearance, people are probably going to be scared to buy one because if the tape ever broke, like, well, you can't get a new one.
Right, you got to buy like a bunch of extra tapes.
Yeah, you just buy a bunch of replacement tapes.
Well, because that's the thing; it has like its own. Like, it would be cool if someone made one that played on, like, a regular cassette tape or something.
Yeah, exactly. But, yeah, these are these little, proprietary tapes
that cost. Would be super cool.
But I think the idea is that the tape is very short, right? Maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. Like, the tape is like an infinite loop, so it doesn't have to... Like, that's the thing with the cassette, is you'd have to flip it. But that would be rad if you saw someone playing a gig and they like had to bend down and pop the lid up on their pedal and flip the tape around and put it back in. How cool would that be?
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think it would be.
I think it'd be really cool.
You know what else is cool?
Gabrielle Tenorio strings.
Yes.
No, not those. Gun Street wiring. Screw Gabrielle.
Wow.
But Gun Street's cool.
Yeah.
Tell us why.
So I played my telly. I kind of... Oh.
Are you going to finish the ad spot that you started?
No. Cole did.
Did he finish it?
He's so angry. No, he's saying I started it.
Yeah, Cole started.
So I was kind of
started it.
So I have a Telecaster. It's an American Standard. Ever heard of it? And I kind of hadn't really
mint condition.
Mint condition. I hadn't really. I hate even saying this, but like bonded with it, I guess. Like I would never really choose to play it. So the other day I had like band practice or whatever, and so I took it and had a ton of fun playing it. And now I like it a lot. I have the 5-way switching in there, which is awesome and very usable. I honestly kind of forgot. I had to play around with it for a sec because it's not in order like you think it would be, right, Aaron?
Mm-hmm.
It's like bridge both, and then like both in series maybe.
Because the bridge is in the middle.
Okay, that's what.
So like the positions 3, 4, and 5, if you're going like middle to neck, are like your traditional settings, and then you have 2 is like
I flipped
series,
it around though,
and then maybe it's reversed for you. No, but that wouldn't make sense because then your neck would be all the way down.
Yeah, because then it would be backwards. So no, it must not be that.
But if you're going like from closest to the bridge to closest
it is
to the
like
neck,
the bridge
it's
is in the middle.
It's parallel, or it's series, parallel, out of phase, bridge, parallel, in phase, neck.
Yeah. So I really liked it though, and
yeah, it's very useful. I think they all have their own sound.
And honestly, like even a 4-way telly, I think is probably the most versatile guitar out there.
Yeah,
just because I can't think of very many guitars that the neck and bridge pickup sound so different. But when you can have them in parallel and series too, you get a ton of different options.
Yeah, true that.
True.
Where?
I was gonna say something. I lost it. Never mind.
It's gonna be about how much you hate Phil.
Yes, actually. So it's about why his burrito argument is so wrong. And here's why. We thrive in a traditional kind of improv environment where the only maximum is yes and your constant revisionist garbage
no anding.
is no. That's all it is. Just no. And it's against the ethos of this podcast and against the ethos of everything we stand for. And I hate it.
You had me at traditional.
And I hate anybody who agrees with you on it. And if you're listening to this podcast and you agree with him,
they don't even agree with him.
You can stop listening.
Because they don't even understand. Like, if you're out there thinking, okay, Cole and Aaron don't think that a tortilla is an essential ingredient for a burrito, then you can go jump off a bridge.
Yeah, because you're a moron.
Because that never was and never will be the argument.
Yes.
In fact, the argument was that it is so essential that it's not worth mentioning.
You guys are not yes-anding me when I ask the question, so would you say tortilla is an essential ingredient?
No, because you didn't. How did it even start? Maybe it was with Aaron no anding.
This is what happened. This is what happened. No, this is what happened. I remember very clearly. We had a topic. We said. We said.
You, Aaron. How clearly? Is it clearly the way you remember the way you ship things?
Listen,
Aaron.
Listen.
Is it that clearly, Aaron?
Oh, remember when you couldn't even remember a basic timeline and you thought something happened like 9 years ago when it happened?
You couldn't remember what year Gear Supply's Kickstarter was?
I did not say that.
Who wrote that blog? Because Gear Supply has been gone for like 4 years.
Yeah, Gear Supply was out of business because I remember we were friends at the time. Like, yeah, Gear Supply's been out of business for like 6 months, and we've been friends for like 3.5 years.
Do you guys remember video stores? So, the topic was what makes the best breakfast burrito?
Yeah.
Or what did you put in a breakfast burrito? What makes it a breakfast burrito?
Correct.
And we
that is what started
listed items, and you said,
yes.
Well, what about a tortilla? You said, well, what about a tortilla?
I asked the question.
In hindsight, you guys always sound a lot dumber than you actually do. In real time, you guys both sound a lot dumber in hindsight.
When that conversation was starting to starting to
begin.
drop off.
Starting to begin.
I said
no.
Drop off.
No,
asked,
it was not. It was at a peak,
asked,
not
okay,
a trough.
but what about essential ingredients? Would you consider a tortilla an essential ingredient? And you guys have been screaming at me for 2 years.
So in other words, we were having an interesting conversation.
Never
and you brought
argument.
up the most mundane question you could possibly think of to ask.
And you've never answered it.
That isn't how it happened, Phil. First of all,
it would be as if we were talking about like what are the best pickups in guitars, and you were like, guys, wait, I have a really good question. Do guitars have strings?
No.
And then we're like, Phil, we're talking about pickups. And you're like, oh, so you think guitars don't have strings?
We were talking about what makes a breakfast burrito a
yes.
breakfast burrito.
Yes.
And you said tortillas, and we said that isn't even worth mentioning because all burritos have tortillas.
Yes.
So why would you even bring it up? And then it went downhill from there.
Okay, fine. But let's just call it like
See how respectful I was in remembering
me.
both of your voices?
You were Okay, but you were no-anding me.
No, it's no, just no. There's no and.
But we did kind of know but you more than you no butted us. Guys,
Thank
no
you.
butts. All right? No butts, no cuts, no coconuts, as they say.
But here's what's happening right now. Let me tell you. We are equivocating things because it would be like
Aaron's
if someone
very angry.
It'd be like if we were talking and Phil tried to stab us. And while he's trying to stab us, we also stabbed him. And then we're like, guys, it's okay. We all stabbed each other. But our stabbing was in self-defense, so it's not the same. No. It's been so long, it seems like we all just kind of decided to stab each other.
Also, as a side note,
there was one aggressor.
As a side note, Phil, the podcast has not been around even close to 2 years when we had that discussion.
No, that was very early on.
Yeah.
Do you know what episode it was?
No, but
I'm asking.
I'm sure we could
Cole.
find it.
I don't remember the episode, but I do remember how we have been. How long have we been doing this?
What
podcast?
episode is this?
This is 142.
Okay, divide that by 52. So almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be 3 years this summer.
Saying it was 2 years ago is.
No, you were saying you had been yelling at me for 2 years when we recorded that, and that's not the case.
No, I think you said we have been yelling at him for 2 years.
Oh,
since
yeah,
then.
that's probably true.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Because it was basically 2 years. It was like March.
Although, don't take my word for it, because I don't remember.
I think it was March of. Oh, yeah, it was March.
The Penguins.
It was almost exactly 2 years ago, March of 2017. March 16th.
Whoa, really?
Because one of the.
St.
Okay,
Patrick's
so
Day.
I'll read this again. You put this after the theme music. So Aaron posted in the Gear Salon, March 16th, 2017, which was probably a new episode day. Listen, when you ask what makes a breakfast burrito or a sports car or a shredder guitar, the focus is always on the modifier, because that was the discussion of what makes it a breakfast burrito instead of just a normal burrito. It's a waste of time to focus on the noun. The basis of the conversation assumes all concerned parties understand what a guitar or car or burrito is. The question is what sets one member of the class apart from others.
That is a considered and reasoned argument.
Aaron's focusing on separating classes there, which I can't say I agree with. So the real question isn't what makes breakfast. The real question isn't what makes breakfast a burrito, but what makes a burrito breakfast.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, this is very classic Aaron word twisting though.
Yes,
not in a negative way, but it is very classic Aaron word twist. Any and all discussion of the presence of a tortilla is superfluous at best, adding nothing to the conversation and arguing a point all parties can already be assumed to be in agreement to.
You know,
or
word twisting
to be
or
in
no.
agreement with, as I would say.
Yeah. Agreeance
word
upon.
Twisting or no, it's definitely he's definitely no-anding me.
Yes, I mean, so to the point that like it wasn't egregious for you to say what's an essential ingredient and you say tortilla, but then for you to dig your heels in after he says, well, that's not like, why even mention that, you know? I don't know. We'd have to go back and listen to the episode. You guys are both wrong. I'm the only one who's never gotten involved in stupid arguments on this podcast that I regret. I've never said anything that I'm not proud of on or off the episode. Between episodes, I've never said anything hurtful to anyone.
We have like lots of aggressive arguments, and I think our most aggressive stuff has never been included.
Yeah, the one where all three of our spouses had to come and ask if we were okay. Yeah, that one wasn't included.
Okay, there's that one, but then there's the one that was not involving me. It was the two of you getting super angry about.
What was it about?
Was it about ropes?
What?
Cables and ropes or something?
No.
Like this was right before we started joking about cables and ropes. What a rope is or something like
cord?
that.
Are you talking about the cord?
Like the
cord
difference
cable?
between a cord and a
cord.
cable
That's
and a
what it was.
wire and
That's
stuff.
what it was. Yes. So that was.
I don't remember that getting out of hand.
I don't remember that being heated though.
It was. I remember feeling very awkward.
That's just because you didn't understand what we were saying.
No. Don't, Aaron.
He's
don't
still
do
he's
that
still hurting
because you're mad.
When you're hurt,
Aaron,
you lash out and you try to hurt others.
Hurt people.
Yes, Aaron. Don't lower yourself.
That's my mantra. I just repeat it all day. Hurt people.
Hashtag
hurt people.
Hashtag hurt people. Hurt people. Mine's
people,
just hashtag hurt people.
Hurt people.
You have to figure out which one I'm referring to.
Hurt people. Hurt people. Hurt people.
I actually, that's what I have this affliction shirt, and it just says hashtag hurt people on it.
Is it like a command?
Yeah.
It could be a command.
Yeah, there's an exclamation mark at the end. Stupid.
It's just one of those days when you don't want to wake up. Everything is...
Everybody's... You don't know
I was trying to play... There was a mashup.
Justify.
What was I...
Rip it up his head off.
Oh, who posted that? There was... It was that song mashed up with like some Dave Matthews song or something like that.
What?
And I was trying to play it for Lacey, but like my kids are around and it says the F word in like the first 3 seconds. So it was good though. Okay, so guys, thanks for friendship.
So let me say what I did post in Gear Talk Praise and Worship because it's pretty good.
Oh, it is good.
Well, first you did the Katurba thing with the Ja Rule quote, which was really good.
Which I think, like, the quote itself wasn't well known enough if I had, like, mentioned the Fire Festival. So I didn't mention the Fire Festival at all. I just found this douchey picture of Katurba and put the quote from Ja Rule that says, I was bamboozled and
I too
led astray, spelled, I too was bamboozled, led astray, spelled Lead. So I posted that. A couple people laughed. I posted it in the Gear Slam, and it got like people enjoyed it there.
Yeah.
In Jatipwa,
it's very specific.
Everyone's always afraid to have a good time or to enjoy themselves at all because they might get yelled at. It's like if you're in prison, probably.
Yeah. So here's what I did. I found a picture of a Gear Supply pedal, which was hard to do because there weren't very many of them out there. That weren't like there were very few.
Probably just
there were very few pictures that were not like marketing pictures.
Yeah, they were just mock-ups or whatever.
Yeah, and I also then I very shoddily photoshopped the Fire logo onto it,
like terribly,
really badly.
Like it has like a section. Already the design of those pedals is pretty ghetto. Yeah. It has like this.
It's like a band.
It's like a solid color with a band across it.
Yeah.
And then you like intentionally made your Photoshop like a smaller rectangle so you can see the band all the way around.
It wasn't intentional, but like I could have easily. I didn't spend time to fix it. Is the thing.
Yes, exactly. It looked like you did it in like 30 seconds when you easily could have taken more time, but chose not to, which I appreciate.
So I found that and I posted it and I put New Gear Day. Can't wait. And then I said, and just in time for lunch. And I also included a picture of, so I searched for the Fire Festival cheese sandwich picture.
Yeah.
But I intentionally didn't use the main one that everyone knows. I used like a secondary one that I found that it's the same sandwich from a different angle.
Yeah.
And
it's like the
people
same.
thought it was like real.
They didn't even notice that part. They're just like, oh, that's sad that this guy who lives in Fallujah has to eat this meal for lunch. But man, apparently he got a gear supply pedal,
which had a fire logo on it. Like, how anybody thought that was real is beyond me.
So obvious.
It's awesome that they believed it, because that means they are dumb.
Well, it's
but people like turned it, and they're like saying that it was cruel to post when people hadn't gotten their pedals yet, and then one of the admins was saying that it was like not cool to make fun of Katurba, which it is very cool.
Is patently false. It is absolutely cool to make fun of Katurba. He's a terrible human being, and he has not shown any remorse.
He did not use those words.
Like
he did. He said it.
There's one admin in particular in Jatipwa who is like the most holier than thou jagweed ever.
Let me tell you what happened. So after you posted the picture in our group, one of our members posted that same picture in Gear Talk, Praise and Worship.
Which was funny because David. So it was David Leong. This again. This is very.
But then this is what happened.
Baseball. No, I want to tell a side story really quick.
All right, tell a side story.
He said too many typos.
Right.
So he just posted the picture, and then he said too many typos, and I replied and said cite your sources, basically telling, because the typos that I had were a part of Ja Rule's tweet.
Right. They were just
and what he thought I was saying was that, oh, you posted my meme, you need to cite your sources. Right. And so he went and added, like, he tagged me on the post, like, credit to Cole Duke.
Whoops.
And I was like, he was like, I just did. And I said, apparently you don't know what cite or sources mean. Like, I was being a total jerk, because all I was wanting him to say was that, like, oh, Ja Rule's tweet had those typos in it.
Said that.
Yeah. And I'm coming off as like, hey, I took 20 seconds to make this meme, and now I want all this credit for it or something. Like, this is my intellectual property. So apologies to David Leong. I'm a douchebag.
Okay, but
so now,
right after he posted that joke, the admin posted a thing that says this. Ready, Phil? And let me see if you think that it's direct enough. He said,
okay,
or if you think that it's about it, or if it might be about something else. He said, I feel like this needs to be shared. I love a good joke, which, no, you don't.
That is, I was actually going to reply.
That's true.
I was going to reply and say, well, it wasn't that part, but he says something about, like, I don't like playing the dad or whatever.
Hell yeah.
And I was going to reply and say, like, the funniest part of this post was when you said you don't like playing the dad. Because he absolutely
so it says,
adores that
I love
role.
a good joke. We need to be careful of who they affect. When we lose a member because of misfortune, it's best not ridicule their position. They're missing an article.
Oh, that is about Katurba.
Yep.
Okay.
I have been guilty of this, but I feel personally convicted, blah, blah, blah. And then he said...
Lose a member?
Because he left the group.
Oh, yeah. And he, like, that was all
exactly,
of his...
right?
All of his advertising was from Jatipwa.
Yes.
And it's like...
That's not...
It was so unfortunate that we lost this guy who stole money from people in the group.
And then he says, I understand some people will think I'm on a power trip or I don't like fun, et cetera, et cetera. We just don't want to tear down artists or members. He's specifically defending Katurba against jokes against him.
Yeah.
And then he said, bump for the person that's made the same joke twice in 3 days.
That was later, because you posted the fire post.
Yes.
And then you posted something else, and then you posted like a shot, like pretending to get a new gear day of one of the gear supply pedals.
Yeah.
Aaron, I don't mean to beat a dead horse.
Which is like, if you think that somebody got a gear supply pedal in the mail now, you are a stupid human being. Like, plain and simple.
Aaron,
I hear you.
I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but this gentleman, his post where he tagged you saying, where he said the same post in the same joke in 2 days or whatever. That was, he posted that original Bible verse like days before.
No, it was when Aaron first posted the fire thing. And then
the original one wasn't in response to mine, it was in response to David Leong's.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Okay, wait. And then, are we talking about comments, or are we talking about his original post?
We're talking about his original post was 3 days before this,
that was
because
posted
Aaron
on
then went back.
The Thursday that the episode was released, and the response was posted at 5 a.m. that Friday.
And the bump was for Aaron's NGD post.
Yes.
Which was 3 days after the original post, 3 days after David Long. I feel like, Phil, the fact that you're even trying to argue a timeline in any fashion.
I know. That's why I'm pausing.
Where do you get off?
That's why I'm pausing. But
I didn't think it, but yes, and you reading that again, that is obviously pointed at David Leong's post. And then,
which was Friday?
Yeah.
Because Aaron went aggressive in P-Dub Sunday morning.
This is what happened.
Yeah.
February 28th was the original one with the fire logo on it.
Okay, with the sandwich.
Yes.
That was Friday?
Yes.
Thursday.
Okay.
Yes, it was Thursday, and his response was on Friday.
Was on Friday morning. So
his post was Friday
absolutely
morning.
In response to that. And then when Aaron did his NGD,
was
3 days later, he bumped it
yes.
to say, hey, this is a bump to remind you that I think have power over you, and that I'm worried about the feelings of this guy who stole money from a bunch of people.
So I was trying not to be trolly, but when he said bump for the person that's made the same joke in 3 days, I think my response was pretty good because I said,
okay, so I forgot
was it a joke about sound
thinking,
guys?
Okay, so
and then you said, and then I love it because you said, oh, if you're talking about someone, you should tag her.
So she sees this. Yeah.
So she sees it, which is like great because you're basically calling out, first of all, the fact that there's like 0 women in this group because it's probably not a very welcoming group. But yeah, that's funny.
Okay, so we should throw out for the record that we know that.
But I will say this: I wasn't trying to hurt anyone's feelings. I was just making a minor, tiny joke that should not be offensive to anybody.
And if Katurba's feelings got hurt, that would be great because he's like a narcissistic a-hole who's not capable of having his own feelings hurt. So if he,
I don't care about hurting his feeling.
Yeah, no, screw that guy.
Yes, right. Listen, we are aware that Mr. Gear Supply was going through some really sucky things in his life when all this went down. However, that is not an excuse to steal people's money and be horrible at business.
And to and to take advantage of people who are younger than you and who look up to you because of your standing in church.
Right.
Like he used his standing in church.
So that's why I'm saying to any admin or anyone who says, oh, that's not cool or whatever, however he worded it, like, dude, the fact that he went through like crappy stuff.
Yeah, that's not an excuse.
We don't care.
It would be different if I was making jokes about like his personal life or something.
Yeah, which we do privately, and we laugh about it.
And it's hilarious. Yeah,
we haven't in a long time.
This is about him literally taking money from people.
It wasn't even though. It's not even about him. It's about the failed company.
Well, that's what he's saying.
I'm just saying. Saying the fact that he has no grounds for like being like, oh, boo-hoo, poor me. If he took people's money and didn't give it back,
well, he's not going to see it because he's not in the group.
I'm just saying. For anybody defending,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, Phil's just saying that's why he loses any ground to.
No,
argue
but what I'm
defense.
saying is like you're like making a distance, but that distance is actually even greater than you're saying that it is.
He's not talking about the distance. He's just saying the validity of defending him in any way goes out the window because he stole money from people and has shown no remorse and no even desire to make it right.
And Aaron,
yes,
I think to your point, what you were saying had to do with being bad at business and making fun of the fact that people did not making fun of the fact that he like intentionally did not send products after collecting money.
Right. That it was
not
that the people who
his personal
are enjoying his pedals as much as people enjoyed Firefest.
Yeah. Yes. And not exactly. Not
that's the
entirety of it. Yes,
personally,
he is a scam. Like, there's a lot of parallels there. That like, I don't think the guy who started Firefest set out from day one to scam people. Yeah. But once he got too far in, he just started lying left and right, and then making up new lies to cover up those lies and stealing money from a ton of people.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I will defend him because he probably did think it was 3 days. he didn't mean to lie. So I kind of see where he's coming from.
So I want you to tell Albert that Katurba didn't mean that he was well-meaning in everything that he did.
Oh, no,
okay?
no, he was bad.
And then we'll let you off the hook.
I'm only defending the
not
Fire
shipping
Fest
your
guy.
pedal.
I mean, they're very similar crimes. That's true.
There's many sides.
Actually, yeah.
I do feel bad about the three.
No, but honestly,
my 3
like
stars now.
that's one thing I've noticed. So like I don't know why. I guess it's because people are into him. But there's all these podcasts. So like there was Dirty John, and then I was listening to that one about Josh Powell, and then you have the Fire Festival thing, and then you think about Katurba, and you watch the like, who's the Ted Bundy? Like, it's interesting that a lot of these people have very similar personalities and a lot of characteristics, even though their crimes are like very different. Like the Fire Festival guy, to my knowledge, has never like
murdered anybody. Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's, I don't know. It's
I have a theory about why we enjoy them so much, especially right now, and it's related to Trump. So I won't talk about it, but it's a good theory.
I think the reason I enjoy it so much is because I watch it and I'm like, okay, like I'm not the best husband on the planet, but I've never murdered my wife and like shoved her body down a mine. And
yes, there's that, and there's also like we're so frustrating to watch like someone get away with everything that when you watch these things and watch bad guys get like caught and busted, you're like, oh yeah, that feels good.
at least
someone's going to prison.
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't know. I think I'm.
Did we talk about sinusoid?
Now, I think just because of Eric Veronic's live stream that he just did, I think I'm now a Trump supporter.
I mean, I'm at least a Trump supporter.
I know. I'm very much a Trump
supporter. Did you guys see that not only did Luke Perry die, but also Keith Flint?
From Prodigy, I know.
Yeah. That was actually, I was more sad about that. The singer from Prodigy died also.
Yeah, he committed suicide.
Remind me what Prodigy sang.
I am the fire starter.
Yeah.
Twisted fire starter.
Smack my bitch up. Which is not a great song. Do not endorse that one.
So you're sad that this man who sang about
he died from suicide. It's sad when anyone is.
He died of what?
Suicide.
Ugh. Yeah. That's sad, man. That's like such a, I don't know. I saw this post. Oh, maybe it was, I shouldn't even say who it was, but it was a friend of the show who posted like, this is what depression looks like. And it's all these, famous people who are seemingly very happy. Granted, I don't know that you would look at the Prodigy guy and think happy is the first word you would use to describe him, but it's still.
No, the first word I would describe him is probably, what? Why do you have 2 mohawks?
The first word that the New York Times used to describe him was mohawked. Keith Flint, 49, mohawked frontman. He's
bihawked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bihawk.
Idiots. Duo-hawked?
Freaking idiots.
Yeah, New York Times, you freaking squares.
Yeah, that's fake news.
Trump's right. It is fake news.
Man, guys, I'm really coming around on a lot of things during this podcast.
Okay, before we go, what would these admins what would they say to the people that we know who do not have the money that they were owed?
They'd say there's many sides.
They would say you need to extend grace.
That's freaking garbage.
Yeah.
Like,
yep. That is.
Ugh. That's gross.
Because that's gross. Because that's what Jesus does. He extends grace to those who show no remorse and show no interest in changing their lives at all.
Did you guys see my apology post?
Yeah, it was pretty great.
It was a little too subtle, I think. So it kind of failed.
What was the post?
So I said something to the effect of, I'm sorry about my last post and like for people getting offended. Like it wasn't my intention, but I really did get some new gear. Here's a picture of it. Of my new Vertex Boost pedal.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Because it's like another shady company.
Yeah.
Right.
And no one cared. No one cared that I made fun of him.
Yeah, exactly. And it was great because everyone was just like, oh, sweet, how do you like it? Oh, I've been wanting to check one of those out.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm not
bro.
going to warn them because you're not allowed to warn people.
Dude, I bet Jesus is going to love you so much now that you got that pedal. Oh, I bought a JHS catapult too.
No, you didn't.
I did. I bought it from Fuzzmonger.
You really didn't.
Ooh.
And I'm really on the fence about buying. I might buy Ed Chu's CE2.
Ed Chu, Brute.
His CE2 from 1980.
I'm being dumb, but it's because it's a Wampler catapult.
Oh, son of a butthole. That's how.
Sorry for being.
That's how you swear
pedantic.
in Utah.
Son of pedantic.
Look at Aaron remembering things.
I'm sorry for being pedantic.
That's
twisting
not
your
pedantic.
words.
That's me being very wrong about something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might buy that CE2. I don't know. And then someone's selling a Geddy Lee bass locally.
Don't buy
that I really
that.
want to buy. It's really cool.
All right. Thanks for friendship.
Thanks for friendship.
Thanks for friendship.